Hello everyone, this is Jayant and today we are talking about the internet. 2020 was a tough year for all of us, but it would have been more tougher if internet didn't existed. So have you ever thought that how this internet works and exactly who owns this internet? So let us continue with the video you're watching on YouTube or maybe on Instagram. When I upload my files to youtube.com, it automatically gets stored in the YouTube server based in US. And if you're watching this video in India, the same file which I uploaded to YouTube, which is stored in the US server, gets traveled from US to India, and that's how you're watching this video. So how this file travels from US to India? You might think that it may travel with the radio waves, and the answer is no. Actually, let us make this story a bit more interesting by knowing the fact that the whole world is connected through wires, and that's how we use the internet. Yes, you heard it right. The whole world is connected through optic fiber cables which runs from India to USA to suppose Australia, and the whole world is connected through these optic fiber cables. I know you're a bit shocked with this fact, but this image will clear all your doubts. As you can see, India gets its internet connection from three different places. One is from Goa, which is the place where I live. Other place is Kerala and Mumbai. Mumbai is the place where all the optic fiber cables are getting connected, and through these optic fiber cables, you are watching this video, and India gets its whole internet 24/7. So if you are accessing any information or any video on the internet, it is stored in the server which is directly connected to whole world by these optic fiber cables. If you are demanding YouTube to watch my video file is traveling from US to India through these optic fiber cables. Now let us know another fact which will shock you again, that internet is totally free. Yes, you heard it right. Then you might think that why I pay to use the internet. You pay because optic fiber cables which are laid all over the Arabian Sea, the Pacific Ocean, and all the oceans which you might think needs maintenance. But as you may know, there are dangerous fishes in the sea and they can destroy our cables. Therefore, there is not a single cable transferring data from one place to another. There are multiple cables which transmit the data. That's why if one cable fails, there are lakhs and lakhs of cables which are transferring the same file. And for the maintenance and the distribution of internet to your house with the cable or with the SIM you are using costs money, and that's why internet is paid. Internet is pretty much a simple concept. The two computers are connected. The first computer, which is you are demanding a file from Netflix to watch a show, and the other computer is the server where the Netflix show is saved. So when both of these computers are connected through a wire, the Netflix show available in the second computer is transferred to you, and that's how you can view the Netflix show. Now let us understand the three tiers of the internet. In tier 1, the companies who spread optic fiber cables all over the world comes in. The tier 2 companies are responsible for distributing the internet on the land, like Jio, Airtel and BSNL comes in tier 2 because they are responsible for spreading internet cables all over the India, and that's how you're watching this video. And in tier 3 companies are your local broadband connections, like I use DNA internet service, you might be using Internet Express or G-Wave or Ethernet Express and much more. And these companies who are responsible for spreading internet to a smaller group of people comes in the third category, which is the third tier of internet. Now let us understand what is Internet Protocol Address, popularly known as IP address. Every device which is connected to the internet has their own and unique IP address, and if you do something misleading things on the internet, you can be easily tracked by this IP address. Also, all the websites which are running on the internet has their own and unique IP address. But you might think that I don't serve my website by putting IP address in the URL bar. When I want to surf any site, suppose I want to search Facebook, I will write www.facebook.com and not the IP address. And here the DNS server comes into the picture. DNS stands for Domain Name Server. It's responsible for connecting the IP address to the website domain name. Suppose if you write facebook.com in your URL, the DNS server connects the facebook.com URL to the respective IP address. When the government bans any of the app or service, they just block the DNS server connecting the domain name to the IP address. Suppose if you are searching www.tiktok.com, which is blocked in India, and because of the DNS server is blocked, your browser don't know which IP address is connected with www.tiktok.com, and that's how the browser shows that this website is not available in your country. So there are two major ways to visit the sites which are banned in your country. One is the VPN, which I've already explained in my previous video. If you have not watched it, I will link it in the I button below. The second way is using a public DNS server. Now let's move on to the second part of the video. Who owns this internet? Let us discuss this one by one. Actually, there is an organization named ICANN, which stands for Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. This is a non-profit organization, and this organization has 7 encryption keys which are given to 7 different people, and that's how they control the internet, and the whole authority to decide and to give the domain names to the website is done by this organization. Also, the dark web is not controlled and regulated by this organization, and it is completely independent and free. You can do any illegal or anything on the dark web. And if you want to know more about dark web, please comment down below if you want a dedicated video on the same. So let us conclude the things. ICANN, the organization who is responsible for controlling the internet, who has the 7 different keys, and they are given to 7 different people, and that's how they secure the internet and regulate it. And that doesn't mean that they are owner of the internet. And we again come back to the same question: who owns this internet? And the answer is you. The person who is using the internet is the owner of the internet. Internet is not a thing that can be owned by a single person or a group of organization. You can say it is a public platform, and whoever is using it is the owner of the internet. And this is how the whole internet story ends. In this video, I explained how internet works and who owns this internet. I hope I have cleared all the doubts which are popping in your mind while watching this video. If I have not answered your doubts, and if you still have a question, you can always feel free to ask me your doubts in the comment section below. Also, like the video if you have liked my explanation. Share it among your friends on different social media platforms like Signal, WhatsApp, and also on Facebook and Instagram. And lastly, subscribe to my channel for amazing tech videos. And this is Jayant signing off. I will catch you guys in the next one. Until then, bye bye.